All right, we good. Okay, come. Shalom. Before I get started with this lesson, I want to give all honor, praise, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Bakar Kodash. Double honors to my apostles and elders of Great Millstone that taught me this truth and that rule well. And peace and salutation to the elect that's out here laboring in all truth and sincerity. To yours, say Shalom. This is the brother Amon Ariyah from GMS Charlotte, coming back with another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Bakar Kodash. And pretty much in this lesson, I wanted to do a response to the brother Tazamak Debar, all right, from the Charlotte camp. And his video is titled "The Truth Hurts," all right. And pretty much, the brother was, going in on this freestyle that you see on the screen from a rapper by the name of King Los. And when you listen to this dude go in, he pretty much, goes in exposing how Esau pretty much, destroyed us from our heritage, man. All right. And when you hear the thing that he's rapping about, man, that gives you a good picture of what is wrong with our people and why they are what they are and why they think like they think, because ultimately they don't know who they are, man. So when you hear him say what he's saying, all right, scriptures should automatically come to your mind, man. And this is why, through the spirit, I want to land back on the lesson that he did, man. So, this is the brother's page, GMS Holy Spirit 144 Tazamat Debar. Subscribe and be edified. But pretty much, I wanted to go to the actual freestyle and go back a little bit because, hey, when he starts to actually, speak about the truth, and when I say the truth, now he doesn't, say anything about being an Israelite, but nonetheless, the thing that he's saying applies to the truth because this is still, factual as far as our history and what has happened to us as a people, man. All right. So, let's go ahead and get into it.
Judicial systems never let the kings rule. Where history falsified and taught in every school to disconnect from your culture like everything cool. People having low self-esteem, dude, got you praising the lineage of oppressors with recessive gene pools. I guess from that perspective, we are fools. I mean, you niggas was accepted, we was chose. And you don't populate what I genetically propose, and we don't vibrate. That means diametrically opposed. Yo, I hope this message electrifies. The European be leveraging privilege through ethnic bias. If you know scholarship points don't speak, this that gonna separate leaders from mere sheep. It's like whipping on the back of a slave with bare feet when historically black college universities pledge Greek. It just isn't in your favor. It's a sick, twisted, sadistic, ritualistic nature. Look, you think it's odd they slave you? If the slave masters they deserve the same God they gave you. You think it's odd they slave you? If the slave masters they deserve the same God they gave you. 400 years later, and you hardly stable, and you turn around and beg that same God to save you. Look, word to the sunrise. Homie, save yourself. Everything else, get a thumb drive. The young lives of black queens lost, misplaced. We've been raped, beaten, indoctrinated, and disgraced. We've been wet, shackled, and mutilated. Put through degradation, disrespectfully viewed and hated. I mean, truly flavored, treated like shit in this fucking nation. Then in 1850, slaveholders came with this publication. It's called How to Make the Ideal Slave. Rule number one was unconditional submission. Keep them in place with authority. Rule number two was create inferiority. Slavery was a choice, but let's be real clear. Rule three was take away their voice and instill sin. Hell yeah. I can see the passion in your eyes. I admire your perseverance for your passion and your grind. But rule number four is why that hat was our demise. You keep the slave interested in the master's enterprise. Because rule number five was the promise of education, information, recreation. Look. Promise of information. That's a psychological prison. Niggas have got to come out. The slave culture. Man, hold up. Prison niggas have yet to come out. If the slave man caught you learning, they cut your tongue out. Segregation 100 years was so thorough. No wonder so many kids on drugs in this cold world.
Now I wanted to go in and kind of dissect what he was saying and just put some scriptures behind it, just to show, this, hey man, our people at this point shouldn't have no excuse of not knowing the truth at this point, man. Because hey, we've been out here teaching, starting with the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, all right, yeah, elder bishops on down, okay, for years, man, giving our people the truth. So, at this point, man, like I said, you should, when hearing this, you should automatically, have scriptures come to mind because, hey, Jake did a good job of pretty much, breaking down what has happened to us as a people. Only thing that he's missing, all right, is the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding from the Lord, number one, and then two, all right, it's pretty much bringing out that we are the Hebrew Israelites that the Bible speaks of, and the reason that we had to go through all this because we broke the commandments of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, and therefore, all right, we have continually went in and out of slavery, man. All right, so starting out, all right, so let me go back.
Self-esteem, dude, got you praising the lineage of oppressors with recessive gene pools.
And that's exactly what has happened, man. All right, since being over here in Babylon the Great, all right, our people have been taught and conditioned to pretty much worship Esau, Edom, all right, and their false idol known as Jesus Christ, man. And the reason that has happened is because we have sinned against the Heavenly Father, and the Lord allowed these devils to beat our heritage out of us, man. All right, so let's get this in the book of. Let me see. Actually, let me start here in Hosea. All right, because this is the number one reason why our people are destroyed, man. Because they don't know who they are. They don't have any knowledge, man. All right. This is the book of Hosea, chapter 4, verse 6, and it reads, "My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me. Seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy power, I will also forget thy children," right? And because we don't know Yahweh Shem Shah, well, we do, that's teaching, but at the end of the day, our people as a whole, all right, they lost that knowledge of being Hebrew Israelites. They lost the knowledge of who their power is, man. All right. And because of that, our people have, been wandering since coming out of slavery, trying to figure out who they are, man. And so this is why you have Jake into all these different religions. All right. Jake is trying to find answers, but they don't know, and even guys like, this dude King Los, all right, have some sorts of knowledge, but I believe, this dude, I think he's into Kemet. I know he was a follower of Polite, man, so he was a real big advocate for that demon, all right. But at the end of the day, he still has some form of knowledge because, like he's saying, he sees part of the history of what has brought our people to this point. But like I said, he doesn't have the whole puzzle piece, though, man. So once again, Hosea 4:6, "My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, because thou hast rejected knowledge. I will also reject thee." And our people have been rejected, okay, because they chose to worship other gods rather than serve Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah, man. And like I said, that has been done through a period of continual slavery, man. Okay. So it says that thou shalt be no priest to me, seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy power. I will also forget thy children, right? And in this country that we have been brought over here to servitude in Slovakia, All right. And we haven't been taught the ways of the Heavenly Father, man. Okay. Hey, this place has, bred you and conditioned you to think like a slave, man. All right. Because when they, so-called, when they abolish, Jake being in slavery, okay, doing like the chains on your neck and all that, all right, all the slave movies you see, when they abolished all that, right, Jake was given the false illusion of freedom, not realizing that the chains that was taken off your neck was put onto your mind. So now you were actually, in bondage now, man. Okay, because the whole time while you was in chattel slavery, and you had everything beaten out of you, and they beat Christianity into you, and so that's why a lot of our people to this day refuse to let go of white Jesus, man, because they truly think that God that they was given is the true Lord and Savior, man. Not realizing that that was a construct that Esau set up to pretty much, ensnare you, man. Okay, so like I said, this is Psalm 62 and verse 4. It says they only consult to cast them down from his excellency. They delight in lies. They bless with their mouth, but they curse inwardly. Salah, right? Because this society was set up to keep you from your excellency, which is your heritage, which is being a Hebrew Israelite, man. All right. You don't know who you are, man. Okay. And Jake is at the point to where this is being presented to him, but they're so, ingrained into these different idols and ideologies that they reject their heritage, man. And that's because of the conditioning that Jake has been given. All right, because they hate the Bible, man. Ultimately, a lot of these Jakes they have a extreme disdain from the Bible or for the Bible because in not Christianity, in slavery, all right, Esau took these scriptures and pretty much gave Jake a condensed form of it known as the slave Bible, which in the slave Bible it was nothing but scriptures about how you're supposed to obey your master. And like I said, all they've known is Jesus Christ throughout that whole period when we was getting our backs beat. And so Jake that's looking for answers and they come out of the ways of Christianity, man, they look at the Bible with disdain because they don't know that we're connected to this book, man, because this book is our history, it's our heritage, man. All right. But that this whole construct of America was set up to keep you from your power, man. All right. This is why Esau, has all these different religions and he promotes them and he doesn't care what Jake, gets into as long as it's not this truth, man. All right, which is the truth. Okay. Esau ain't coming against the nation of Islam. All right. He's not coming against Egyptology. He's not coming against, Buddhism and whatever else Jake is into, man. Because none of that is the truth, man. All right. So, like I said, they only consult to cast him down from his excellency. They delight in lies. They bless with their mouth, but they curse inwardly. Salah, right? Because they gave Jake Christianity as a means for them to pretty much, find a God to worship, because they know our people are zealous. All right, we have a zeal to worship, a God because they know that we're a spiritual people. And Esau has, figured that out down to a science. Because when you go into even with that, they went into, I think that was that video of Bill Gates. He was saying pretty much that thing that proves that we're a spiritual people. It's called the VMAT2 gene, which they classify as the God gene. All right, and that gene is more prevalent in so-called Negro or Latino Native Americans, which is why they came up with that snake venom to give to you during the whole past 3.5 years that that whole demic was going on with. All right, but this is just to further keep you disconnected from your heritage, man. All right, because they knew at some point, because we had a fallen away. All right, which I'm gonna get that real quick. Where we at? It's Jeremiah. Come on, boy. All right, let me get this. This is another one. This is Second Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 3. It said, "Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition." Right. And that that falling away happened because we as a people, all right, we lost our heritage, man. All right. We didn't know who we were because like you watching Roots, when we were brought over here, all right, we had everything beat out of us, all right, because Esau didn't want us to know who we are because they know that when we pray to our Father, all right, we pray to our power, that the Lord is obligated to come and deliver us. But through prophecy, we had to go through these things. So Esau didn't want that name, in the earth. Esau didn't want us to know who we were, all right, who we are. So, hey, the Lord allowed him to beat the heritage out of us, all right, and he was able to, fool us into, becoming a design that he gave unto us, all right. That's why throughout all history that we've been over here, all right, our names have been continuously changed, all right. You so-called Negroes, before you were Negroes, all right, you were, colored, all right, Afro American, Hebos, and so on, man. Okay, all to keep you from realizing that you are the Hebrew Israelite that the Bible speaks of, man. Okay, and Esau was able to hide himself, okay, from being the devil, all right, through his, his lies, his education, okay. In these schools, they teach you his history, not realizing that, look, we don't we don't get taught that, hey, these so-called white people go back to the Edomites, man. All right, you're taught about the Greeks, all right, the Romans, but they don't go into the history that truly ties them back unto being the Edomites, man. And that's one of the things that this guy King Los he didn't bring out because ultimately he doesn't know. All right, he called them the Europeans, but they are the Edomites, man. They are the sons of perdition, man. Okay, and so like I said, we lost that heritage because I can't remember the scripture. That's in Jeremiah, but I can't remember if it's 4:17. Let me see if it's that one. 14:2. Let me see that one. Nah, so it's got to be 4:17 then. No. Discontinue from thy heritage. 17:4. So like this is Jeremiah 17:4. And thou even thyself shalt discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee, and I will cause thee to serve thine enemy in the land which thou knowest not. For ye have kindled a fire in mine anger, which shall burn forever. Right. And like I said, the main reason that we had to go through all these different captivities, until today, is because we called the Lord to pretty much, be angry with us because of our disobedience, man. So the Lord made us discontinue from our heritage. All right. And now we've taken on these different proverbs and bywords, which are a result of the curses that you read about in the book of Deuteronomy 28 that was going to befall us because of our insolence, man, our disobedience. Okay. But as I said, and thou even thyself shalt discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee, and I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in the land which thou knowest not. For you have kindled a fire in my anger, which shall burn forever. Right. And us serving our enemies has caused us to go and serve and worship, these different idols, specifically, all right, this image of Jesus Christ, who our people, a good majority of them still believe is, the God that's going to come and save them. But like he said, why would you worship a God that looks like your oppressor? Okay, that right there is a form of psychological warfare, because Esau put himself up as being the Most High and his son to pretty much, ingrain that image in our people to make them think that he is God, man. All right, that's part of what we read about in Second Thessalonians chapter 2. All right, so let me go back to that. And I'm gonna continue on with the video. All right. Second Thessalonians chapter 2. verse 4, it says, "Who opposeth and exalted himself above all that is called God or that is worshipped, so that he as God sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God," right? And how did he do that? Okay, he did that by changing and putting himself up as the image of the Most High, man. All right, get that. And also giving you that whack ass name of Jesus, man, because that's not the Lord's name. All right, and that's still a controversial issue going on even to this day, man. Okay, you still got Jake that's not willing to let go of that image, man. All right, and that name. All right, so second Maccabees, I guess first Maccabees. So like, let me see. Charlie being the sword more, but if it's taking too long, I'm just going on the phone, and that's what it's gonna look like. All right. All right, this is First Maccabees chapter 3 and 18. It says, "And laid open the book of the law, wherein the heathen had sought to paint the likeness of their images." Okay, and this is where this form of what we call white Jesus, all right, or the brother Debar Kabash from our camp calls him fake white man Jesus. All right, this is where that image came from, going back truthfully to the origin of it, to the into Egypt. All right, when total was it Ptolemy Soter? All right, he pretty much painted himself as a god. All right, but he pretty much wanted to be worshipped as a god, so he created the image of Serapis Christus. All right, which later evolved into what you know as Jesus Christ, man. Because during the Greek Empire, you had Pope Rodrigo the 6th. All right, his son Cesare Borgia, which that's the modern day image of Jesus. Okay, they that man died an early death, and so he commissioned what's his name, Leonardo da Vinci and Michelangelo to paint him as a god to to be worshipped, and that image is still fastly being held to today, man. Okay, this is Wisdom of Solomon chapter 14 and 15. It says, "For a father afflicted with untimely mourning, when he had made an image of his child soon taken away, now honored him as a god, which was then a dead man, and delivered to those that were under him ceremonies and sacrifices." Right. So Jesus Christ is an idol, and Jesus Christ comes with a doctrine and a particular spirit. All right, that is a snare and a trap unto our people, man. Because like I said, they're still stuck on that to this day. That's why we always say that Christianity, all right, was the worst drug that was ever given to our people. Okay, because they refused to let that go, and this is why that was a hard bar that he said about that, because hey, to this day, our people are still stuck on that, not realizing that you have a power that was given unto you, which is Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, the God of the Israelites, man, the God of the Bible, man. All right. So let's get one more precept before I go back. This is Jeremiah 2 and 11. "Have a nation changed their gods, which are yet no gods? But my people have changed their glory for that which doeth not profit." All right. And that's what has happened with you so called Negro, Latino, and Native Americans, because it's not just so called blacks, all right, that are suffering from identity crisis, man. All right. It's all the tribes, man, because to this day, all right, all of us are in slavery under the same devil, man. All right. And you got a thing amongst even Israelites that know that they're Israelites that refuse to accept the Northern Kingdom as being Israelites, man. All right. So let's get this just to prove that point. Let's see. Damn. Jeremiah 50 and 33. Yeah, Jeremiah 50 and 33. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together, and all that took them captives held them fast. They refused to let them go because, like I said, this applies to what he said. It applies to the northern kingdom as well. All right, because they suffer from the same curses that we do. All right, And so with that being said, you got to realize that look, until you break free of those strongholds that Esau has set forth and come back into the truth of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, man, our people are going to stay in this destroyed state, and the Lord's going to reject you when it's time for salvation, man. All right, this is how serious this is, man. But let me continue on, man. Okay, and that right there lets it be known that hey, our people know that it's something that makes us greater than these damn Edomites, man. Because Yahweh Shem Yahushua has put a particular spirit in us, all right, that separates us from the rest of the world, the rest of you heathen, all right. But that our people think it's melanin, all right. They think it just because we more athletic, we're more intellectual, we're more, but it goes even beyond all that, man. All right. The reason why we are chosen is because the Lord gave us a covenant, all right, that established a relationship with us. And that right there is what makes us chosen, man. Okay. Get that just to prove that point, man. This is Jeremiah, sorry. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 147 and 19. It says, He showeth his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. He have not dealt so with any nation. And as for his judgments, they have known them. Praise ye the Lord, right? So we were given law, statute, commandments to abide by. And this is why we are the chosen people. And that right there is proof that the Lord is only dealing with us, man. All right. And the reason why we're in this situation is because the Lord put divine punishment on us for our disobedience, man. Let me get one more. And Lord willing, this is all making sense. It's edifying, man. All right. This is the book of Amos, chapter 3, verse 2. Matter of fact, I started 1. It says, Hear this word that the Lord has spoken against you, O children of Israel, which are you so-called Negro, Latino, and Native Americans, against the whole family which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying, You only have I known of all the families of the earth. Therefore, I will punish you for all your iniquities. And that's what the Lord has done, man. All right. Because put this on the screen real quick. All right, because how we were punished is we were punished through going into captivity under these different heathen, man. All right, because like I said, Jake has a history of going into captivity, man. Okay, and that's because we have disobeyed the Lord, man. So the Lord continuously would deliver us, and our people will listen to him for a little while, and then eventually the Lord would pretty much see that we backslid again. All right, he'd get angry, put us in captivity all over again, and it was just a perpetual cycle. That's why we got to the point in this last captivity in America, all right, which is known as Babylon the Great. The Lord he just took his name from us, all right, took our heritage from us, and let us pretty much wallow here. Went through great atrocities, all because we moved him to wrath, man. But that wasn't to destroy us, man. It was to teach us a lesson. Okay. This is the book of Baruch, chapter 4, verse 6. It says, You were sold to the nations, not for your destruction, but because ye moved Yahweh Shem Yahushua to wrath, you were delivered unto the enemies. All right. So because we moved Yahweh Shem Yahushua to wrath, because of our constant disobedience. All right, the Lord allowed these heathen to overtake us, man. Because, like I said, this was a perpetual cycle, man. All right, that's a point I wanted to get. Let me see. I should have got my camp sword. That one has all my points highlighted. Matter of fact, hold on. You know, all right, this is the book of Psalms 106, and I'm gonna start at verse 34. All right, just to land back off that point I read in Baruch 4. It says, "They did not destroy the nations concerning whom the Lord commanded them, but were mingled among the heathen and learned their works, and they served their idols, which were a snare unto them. Yea, they sacrificed their sons and their daughters unto devils, and shed innocent blood, even the blood of their sons and of their daughters, whom they sacrificed unto the idols of Canaan. And the land was polluted with blood. Thus they were thus were they defiled with their own works, and went a whoring with their own inventions." And that's continually what our people did throughout these different captivities. Okay, because when you read about the Egyptian captivity, all right, that was the first one, all right, which is, the one that is always, talked about throughout, the school system or whatever, but they don't never tell you that it was actually that the Israelites that was enslaved there was us, because they'll allow you to call yourself an Egyptian. You got Jake thinking they pharaohs or whatever, but they'll never tell you that the people that the Egyptians had in captivity was you, man. All right. So we all know about the Exodus that happened with Moses. All right. We got the movie The Ten Commandments was highlighted there. All right. Then you have the other movie, the animated movie dealing with Joseph. All right, and the animated movie dealing with the Exodus of Egypt. All right, but all these other captivities, this was brought about what I'm reading, because Jake continually will go off and worship these other nations' idols, man. All right, so continuing on, verse 40. Therefore was the wrath of the Lord kindled against his people, in so much that he abhorred his own inheritance. All right, we moved the Lord to wrath. Therefore, he allowed. In fact, let me read it on. And he gave them into the hand of the heathen, and that they hated them. It's like, and they that hated them ruled over them. Their enemies also oppressed them, and they were brought into subjection under their hand. All right. It says, many times did he deliver them, but they provoked him with their counsel and were brought low for their iniquity. And this is exactly what this picture is exemplifying, man. Continually, we moved the Lord to anger. So we went from captivity to captivity to captivity all the way down. So the Egyptian captivity, the Assyrian captivity, the Babylonian captivity, Persian captivity, the Greeks, the Romans, here until here in America today, man. Because we all kept disobeying the Lord and going into idol worship, man, which was one of the biggest downfalls, and to this day is the biggest kryptonite for Jake, man. But this is what what sparked all that, man. All right. This is the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 14 and 12. It says, "For the devising of idols was the beginning of fornication, and the invention of them the corruption of life." All right. So yeah, the devising of idols was the beginning of spiritual fornication, because Jake was flirting, all right, with other philosophies, and that's really going back to the garden with Eve, man. That's what started all this shit, man. All right, this is the reason why we die, because of idol worship, man. You know, It's another one in here. Let me see. Yeah, I thought it was in this chapter. But that's the point. At the end of the day, that's the point. All right, the worshiping the idols is the beginning of spiritual fornication, and that's the the wickedness that our people continue to go into, man. All right, because worshiping another god, that's pretty much the reason why the Lord is destroying us as a people, man. All right, but like I said, these different captivities was a result of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, judging us, man. All right, so let me get one more on the screen. Yeah, that's the right one. All right, yeah, because all these nations at some point or another have had us in slavery, man. All right, as it, going back to what it said, Yahweh Shema Shah said this. This is Psalms 106 and 41. I'll start at 40 again. It says, "Therefore was the wrath of the Lord kindled against his people, insomuch that he abhorred his own inheritance, and he gave them into the hand of the heathen, and they that hated it's like it, and they that hated him or them ruled over them. Their enemies also oppressed them, and they were brought into subjection under their hand." And that's what has happened, man. All these different nations have had us in captivity at some point of another, man. All right. So this is why at the end of the day, when you hear us go out on the highways and byways and these lessons and talk about how all the heathen, okay, are gonna go into slavery, this is the reason why, man. All right. And to further prove that, because everything can be backed up by scripture. All right. Where we at? This is First Maccabees chapter 2, verse 10. What nation have not had a part in her kingdom and gotten over her spoils? Hey, and this picture is a perfect example to show you why no heathen nation is innocent, man. All right. Like I said, you had the Hamites, the different Hamites, Egypt being the main captivity, but the Hamites as a whole always, gave us trouble, man. Okay. Then you had the Moabites, okay. They had us in captivity. All right. Because the Cushites, that's Ham. The Egyptians was Ham. Moab, so-called Chinese had us. Canaanites, that's Ham. The Midianites, Ammonites, Philistines, okay, Syrians, Babylonians, Hamites, man. Persians and Medes, okay. Persians is the Ishmaelites, and the Medes, I believe, was the Japhites, man. All right. And then you had the Greeks, the Romans, all right. They had us in captivity, which is the Edomites, okay. And then, like I said, Africans and Arabs, because during the transatlantic slave trade, they Esau into putting us into the position that we're in now, man. All right. But even before that, you had different captivity that's not really talked about as much. All right. Like for Ishmael, for example, the so-called Arabs, for all you Muslim niggas out there, you don't realize that you were put in slavery as well, man. All right. Through what you would know as the sub-Saharan slave trade, man. All right. So it's various, things you can look up to show that hey, you had so-called Muslims that put you in slavery, but yeah, you're gonna go and serve the same religion of your previous slave masters, man. Which goes back once again to what Los was talking about in that freestyle, man. All right, you serving nations that have no benefit for you, man. All right, and that's why the Lord gave you over to them, man. You know. So once again, First Maccabees 2:10. What nation have not had a part in her kingdom and gotten over her spoils, man? All these nations that had a hand in our captivity. And this is the reason why, just to get this real quick, we say that all you nations are going to go into slavery, man. Okay. This is the book of Revelation 13:9. If any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints, man. All right. So all you nations have had us in captivity, you're gonna go in captivity. All you nations that killed us with the sword, so you're gonna be killed with the sword, man. All right, that's a fair and balanced judgment from Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. And that's why you claim that that's hate, but that's justice according to the scriptures, man. You know, so let's go back.
What I aesthetically propose, and we don't vibrate, that means we diametrically opposed. I hope this message electrifies. The European be leveraging privilege through ethnic bias. If you ain't do no scholarship on this, don't dare speak. This that ether that's gonna separate leaders from mere sheep. It's like whipping on the back of a slave with bare feet. When historically black college universities pledge Greek.
And even that is a good point, because you had Jake go to these different colleges and pledge to these Greek fraternities, not realizing that the Greeks had you in slavery, man. You know, that right there in itself, you know that, hey, this is the same people, all right, going back to their same ways, just in current incarnations now, man. You know, let's go into that real quick. This is the book of Joel, chapter 3, verse 6. It says, the children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have ye sold to the Grecians, that you might remove them far from their border. Right. So we were in captivity under the Greeks at one point in history, man. All right. So that right there, you don't understand what that go back to, because during that period, what you can read about in the Maccabees, first and second Maccabees, all right, the Greeks put pure hell on Jake. That was the beginning of the Hellenization that you see Jake taking part in today, man, because the Hellenization that we see today, back then you had Jake, calling themselves Greeks. Okay. That's why in the New Testament, the Gentiles are constantly referred to as, the Greeks. All right. But even from that, you have in today's term, when you have Jake calling themselves blacks, African Americans and all that. But like I said, you go to these colleges trying to get a so-called higher education, and you see these Greek fraternities, and that piques your interest, because 9 times out of 10, these Jakes that pledged these fraternities were the same sellout Jakes that was back in the Greek Empire, aspiring to be like them Edomites, man. All right. So let's get this another one. This is Deuteronomy chapter 29, verse 26, and it says, for they went and served other gods and worshiped them, gods whom they knew not, and whom he had not given unto them. Because when it comes to these fraternities, you don't realize that each one of these, fraternities and sororities, what they refer to as the Divine Nine. All those sororities and fraternities go back to different, gods, man. The Egyptian gods at that, man. All right. This is the book of Ezekiel 20:7. It says, then said I unto them, cast ye away every man the abominations of his eyes, and defile yourselves. It's like, and defile not yourselves with the idols of Egypt. I am the Lord your God, right? And you doing that by you pledging these different fraternities. And like I said, when you look at the history of those fraternities, you don't understand what they go back to. All right. But you can go into each Egyptian god that these fraternities and sororities go back to. And I'll just read them off real quick. Because you got the AKAs, their idol, it goes back to the goddess Quetesh. All right, you got Zeta Phi Beta, who goes back to the cat god Bastet. Iota Phi Theta goes back to the god Chiron. The Alpha Phi Alpha, all right, that's the Sphinx. Theta Bi Sigma That's the god Horus. Omega Psi, which deals with the god of death Anubis, and Delta Sigma Delta, which goes back to the goddess Minerva, and then you got the Kappas, who goes back to the god Thoth, and then Sigma Gamma Rho, which goes back to the Egyptian goddess Ma'at, man. So these different idols have continuously snared our people, all right, and they're back in today's time, which Esau, pushes our people to go into these colleges, and a lot of them getting snared into that, that them Greeks, that Greekish fashion all over again, man. All right, they get the letters, all right, and they pretty much, when you go into that, not to go too far into it, but when you go into that, they make them pretty much, when you pledge, all right, they pretty much make you pledge an oath unto those idols of that certain fraternity or sorority, man. All right, that's why they call it, you crossing the sands. All right, but just getting some more precepts on that real quick. This is Second Maccabees 4:15. It says, "Not setting by the honors of their fathers, but liking the glory of the Grecians best of all," because our people, they take extreme joy into pledging for these fraternities and sororities, man. Because the benefits that Esau Edom allows them to get, pretty much it helps them excel in this wicked kingdom, man. All right, not realizing that when you pledge, you are nothing more than low level masons that Esau plots on to see if you're of any use to him, man. You know, but just giving you some backdrop on that, because how they did back in the day, all right, they put Jake into slavery, all right, they branded you, all right, they sold you, okay, and then that's the same thing that you do when you go in and pledge, man. Okay, you got Jake that gets branded to show their allegiance to that certain frat or sorority, and like I said, you show them all these pictures of you and your letters, man. You taking pride in being an idolater, man. you know so I just wanted to bring that part out.
Just isn't in your favor. It's of sick, twisted, sadistic, ritualistic nature. Look,
You see, because like I said, you got to do rituals when you go and serve these different idols. Not just talking about just the whole Greek thing, but in general. All right, all these different religions, they come with a certain doctrine that you're supposed to follow, and there's a certain thing that you have to do to please these idols, man. Look at Hollywood for an example.
think it's odd they slave you. If the slave master ain't served the same God they gave you. 400 years. Hold up. Yeah, hold up. Look. You think it's odd they slave you. If the slave master ain't served the same God they gave you. 400 years later, and you hardly stable. And you turn around and beg that same God to save you.
Because like he was saying, man, what nation have changed their God? Let me bring that back out, man. Jeremiah 2:11. Hath a nation changed their gods, which are yet no gods, but my people have changed their glory for that which doeth not profit. Okay. They don't understand that these gods have no power. All right. These gods that they have chosen are idols, man. All right. We get that. And one verse. Psalm 14. Gods of the heathen are idols. Where is that at? Psalm 96:5. It says, "For all the gods of the nation are idols, but the Lord made the heavens," man. All right. So you worshiping these other gods, thinking that that is the one true God, man. You're worshiping an idol, man, and an idol has no life. All right. It's a dead, image. Okay, that was created by a man. You know. Jesus Christ was a man. Buddha, Allah, Hare Krishna, these different made up gods, they're not real, man. All the 100 gods of Egypt, none of these gods are real. They have no power in them, man. So Jake, going back, Jeremiah 2:11 again, have a nation change their gods, which are yet no gods, but my people have changed their glory for that which doeth not profit. Because in the time of tribulation, these gods that have no power are not going to be able to save you. All right. And that's the point of why it's important for you to know, where you are, know who you not know you are where you are, like it, to know who you are, all right, and to know who your God is, man. All right. Jeremiah or Judges, like it, chapter 10, verse 13. It says, "Yet ye have forsaken me and served other gods, wherefore I will deliver you no more. Go and cry unto the gods which you have chosen. Let them deliver you in the time of your tribulation." All right. So Yahweh Shema Shah gave you over to these different idols that you chose to worship instead of him. And he pretty much let it be known that, look, when the time of trouble comes, let those gods that you chose to worship save you. All right. And it's going to be shown that those guys have no life in them. They have no power. They can't deliver you. All right. Only thing that's going to be able to deliver you, only person that's going to be able to deliver you is the Lord Yahweh Shai, man. All right.
Look, word to the sunrise. Homie, save yourself. Everything else, get a thumb drive. The young lives of black queens lost, misplaced, who've been raped, beaten, indoctrinated, and disgraced. We've been wet, shackled, and mutilated, put through degradation, disrespectfully viewed and hated. I mean, truly flagrant, treated like shit in this fucking nation. Then in 1850, slaveholders came with this publication called How to Make the Ideal Slave. Now, dig the vision. Rule number 1 was unconditional submission. Keep them in place with authority. Rule number 2 was create inferiority.
And hey, what he's going into, that's this book right here, man. All right, the Willie Lynch letter and how to make a slave, man. All right, and I'm gonna read just a little bit out of this, just to show you. All right, this is design going back to what I read in Psalms 62:4, man. All right, this is Let's Make a Slave. It says the cardinal principles for making a Negro. All right, so it's a 6-step plan that they created. It says both horse and nigger are no good to the economy in the wild state. It's like in the wild or natural state. Both must be broken and tied together for orderly production. For the orderly futures, special and particular attention must be paid to the female and the young offspring, like how he was going into about how the women are destroyed, man. All right, that was by design, man. Just like when you go into the book of Genesis, chapter 3, all right, and to bring down Adam the man, Satan, who was then, was the serpent, all right, because that was just the spirit, all right. There was no actual damn snake, all right. That was a man, that was a witch, all right. But he went to the woman Eve, all right, to pretty much, bring down the man, all right. So it says once again, for the orderly future, special and particular attention must be paid to the female and the young offspring. Both must be crossbred to produce a variety and a division of labor. Both must be taught to respond to our particular new language. Psychological and physical instruction of containment must be created for both. So they had to, break you and then put chains on your mind, man. They had to psychologically enslave you, all right, to make it to where you wasn't going to rebel against them, man. Okay. So continuing on in this chapter, it says, accordingly, both a wild horse and a wild or natural nigger is dangerous even when captured, for they will have a tendency to seek their customary freedom, and in so might kill you in your sleep. You cannot rest. They sleep while you are awake, and awake while you sleep. They are dangerous near the family house, and it requires too much labor to watch them away from the house. Above all, you cannot get them to work in the natural state. Hence, both the house, it's like the horse, and the house and the nigger must be broken. That is breaking. It's like that is break them from one form of mental life to another, keep the body and take the mind. In other words, break the will to resist. All right. And that's what he has done throughout his different, indoctrinations, whether it be the school system, all right, through the media, all right, through the music, all right, what you see on TV, everything points to, the image that they wanted you to be, which is the slave, man. A broken, brain dead slave, man. Indoctrinated, man. All right. I'm going to jump down. It says, you must keep your eye and thoughts on the female and the offspring of the horse and the nigger. And this is why they went so hard to pretty much, separate the woman and the man. You know, that was done by the design because they understood that us as a unit, all right, when so-called Black, Latino, Native American man is on accord with their women, all right, that was going to be pretty much a hurdle for them because they know there's power in us being, together, man, in solidarity. All right. So what they did was pretty much separate the woman and the man. All right. So let me get that real quick. This is the book of Matthew 12 and 29. Or else, how can one enter into a strong man's house and spoil his goods, except he first bind the strong man, and then he will spoil the house. And when you go into this word, I think it's strong man. It says bind the strong man. Hold on. Yeah, so when you click on strong man, is G2478.
Strong's G2478 is Huras. It's Huras.
Was definition A2 says of one who has the strength of soul. That's not it. Hold on. They changed it. Yo, that's crazy. They changed it. Wow. That's crazy. And that show you these devils, man. That's crazy. And these devils know that this truth is coming out, man. So they gotta, pretty much, change shit, man. Because that definition wasn't there before. Wow. I'd have to go back. I'm gonna try to. I have a screenshot of somewhere, so I'm gonna have to go back through my phone and find that original breakdown for that word. Cause damn, they sure did change that shit. That's crazy. But anyway, they took the woman out. They took the woman and put her against the man. All right, that's the point of me trying to find all that, man. All right, and so what we see now, how our women pretty much look at the man as indispensable. They don't look to the man for protection. All right, they don't respect the man. That was all done, you know, in this whole process of breaking the slave, man. All right. So we'll read a little bit more on this. Let's see. All right, this is continuing on. It says, therefore, if you break the female mother, she will break the offspring in its early years of development, and when the offspring is old enough to work, she will deliver it up to you, for her normal female protective tendencies will have been lost in the original breaking process. So, meaning that she's going to raise up the children in a way that's going to make them as non-threatening and pretty much obedient, so that nothing will happen to them, because that maternal instinct that's in her is for them to live. All right, and throughout slavery, Esau always showed the man was powerless because they were able to kill the man at any opportunity. All right, if they wanted to take their wife, all right, they could just go into the house, all right, take her, rape her, and then the man had no power to protect her or do nothing. So what they did was show that the man had no power to protect the woman, and so therefore, seeing that, hey, the women are pretty much, made it to where they had to survive on their own. All right, so they would breed the children in the means to where they would be the most non-threatening to a slave master, and that's still being done in today's time, man. All right, because these women, when you see how the children are raised today, they're raised to go along with the status quo, man. All right, let's bring two scriptures to mind, man. This is Sirach chapter 3, verse 9. It says, "For the blessing of the father establishes the houses of children, but the curse of the mother rooteth out foundations." All right, because the woman is with this world, man. She's worldly, so she's gonna go with the direction the world is going in, man. All right, and not question it. And the children, without the proper direction from the man, are going to be raised in that same way of the world, man. All right, so that's pretty much the point. All right, in that one. So continuing on.
Ye said that slavery was a choice, but let's be real clear. Rule 3 was take away their voice and instill fear. And hell yeah, I can see the passion in your eyes. I admire your perseverance for your fashion and your grind. But rule number 4 is why that hat was our demise. You keep the slave interested in the master's enterprise. Because rule number 5 is the province of education, information, recreation. Look.
And that's what's going on, man. Our people trust in Babylon the Great, man. They've been tricked into thinking that if you just go along with the American dream, that you can come across the same success that Esau, he has been able to do in his kingdom. Not realizing that no matter what you Jakes do, man, it's never going to work out for you, because number one, we're under the curses, and number two, we weren't brought over here to America to prosper, man. This is the land of our captivity, man. All right, this is Sirach chapter 34 and 1. The hopes of a man void of understanding are vain and false, and dreams lift up fools. Whoso regardeth dreams is like him that catches by a shadow and followeth after the wind. All right, and you're never going to be able to catch a shadow, man. So meaning that no matter what you do here in Babylon the Great, no matter how hard you hit the pavement, all right, you put your nose to the ground and you do the grind that you got to do, you will never be successful here in Babylon the Great. Now you have temporary success, but the curse is still on you, man. And that's why you have Jake, even though they make it, you have Jake that's millionaires, Jake that's so-called billionaires, Jake that's famous or whatnot. Hey, they're still under the curse. So they're still miserable. All right, they're still going through the same hell that we catch, but worse, because they had to do wicked, abominable things to get where they were at, or they just trying to go with the flow, go with the system, and see that it's not helping them. Because look at what's going on today, man. You got these people complaining. All right, this is just dealing with the average Jake out here that's not in no type of fame or glory or whatever. Everybody's complaining about how unbearable it has become to make a living here, man. You're literally working just to pay bills. You don't have any extra savings. All right, everything, the cost of living is rising, and you're barely floating above water, man. That's because this is captivity, man. All right, the American dream is that in itself, man. It's a dream. It was never true, man. All right, the American dream was nothing more than an illusion, man. So let's get this precept just to back that up. This is Baruch chapter 2. There, let me see. Baruch 3 and 8. It says, "Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, for thou hast scattered us for a reproach and a curse, and to be subject to payments according to all the iniquities of our fathers was departed from the Lord our power." Right. So we are yet this day in our captivity. So no matter what you Jakes out there try to do to escape the curses, all right, you gotta accept the fact that we're still in slavery, man. All right. Babylon the Great was not a paradise, man. You forget how you came over here, man. All right. We were brought over here in slave ships. All right. And the enemy that enslaved us still rules over us, man. We're still found in his hand, all right, along with the other nations that's ruling over us as well. You are on the bottom, Jake. So even if you make it to the status of a millionaire, billionaire, all right, you get some status in this world. It'll always be thrown back in your face on how you're a slave, man. How you're inferior in the eyes of these other heathen, man, especially Esau. All right, and it says that we are subject to payment because even though you got Jake that's rich, they still got a debt that they gotta pay too, man. And the most important debt is that servitude under Esau, man. Because if they don't go along with the wicked sacrifices, the rituals, the agenda that Esau does, that he wants them to promote, they lose all that, man. All right, so that's a form of that subject to payments too, man. But just in a nutshell, man, we all are in slavery at some point, man. Because there's different type of slaveries as well, man. All right, you got Jake that debt slaves, you know, which all of us at some point we're debt slaves, man. You got Jake that's slaves in the prison system. All right, just to name a few. So, hey, we're in slavery, man. At the end of the day, all right. So this is why it's important for you to have knowledge, wisdom, understanding of the scriptures, man. All right, and to know your power, man.
Oh, you listening to me?
Teach them. We listening.
To
Teach
the
them.
province of information. That's a psychological prison. Niggas have yet to come out. To the slaves court. Man, hold up. That's a psychological prison. Niggas have yet to come out. If the slave master caught you learning, they cut your tongue out. Y'all hear me?
Yes. Yes.
If the slave master caught you learning, they cut your tongue out. Then segregation 100 years.
Esau didn't want you to know who you are, man. All right, that's why, like he was said, was correct. If in slavery, they wouldn't allow Jake to read because they had a Jake by the name of Nat Turner, all right, who they allowed to read the Bible, and the Most High revealed unto him that we were the Israelites, man. And he led one of the most famous slave rebellions that until this day Esau is reluctant to speak on, man, because during that slave rebellion, man, hey, Nat Turner and a bunch of other Jakes, man, they put a lot of you Edomites to death, man. And the anger that was kindled upon these devils for doing that to this day, Nat Turner's family don't own any of his body parts, man. Because what them devils did, all right, whenever they killed that man, they pretty much cut him up and divided them among different plantations to where, like you say, his remains are in a natural museum somewhere, but his family don't own his none of his body parts, man. They couldn't even properly lay him to rest, man. That's the hatred that Esau Edom has for you, and so ever since then, they never allowed Jake to know how to read. Like, you had to sneak in and know how to read, and you couldn't let nobody know. But if they caught you reading, like you said, they cut your tongue out. But if they caught you reading the Bible, you were put to death, man. Why was that? Because they don't want you to know who you are, man.
Kids were so thorough. No wonder there's so many kids on drugs in this cold world.
All right, and this all stems from not knowing who you are, man. All right, this is why this knowledge and understanding is imperative. All right, because if you know that, all right, you'll never get yourself out of this position, man. You will continue to be a slave until the Lord destroys you, man. All right. So we get one more precept. Isaiah 5:13. Therefore, my people are going into captivity because they have no knowledge, and their honorable men are famished, and their multitude dried up with thirst. Right. So we continually went into captivity. Let me put that back on the screen. Actually, no. Let me use the other picture. I'm gonna read this again. Isaiah 5:13. Therefore, my people are going into captivity because they have no knowledge, and their honorable men are famished, and their multitude dried up with thirst. Right. So we continually went into captivity. All right, because of idol worship, man. All right, but today in America, the reason why we went into captivity, all right, and still are in captivity, because our people don't have knowledge of Yahweh Shem Shai because he took it from us. But we're in a time now to where Yahweh Shem Shai has given us this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding back. All right. And so when they hear, Jake speaking the truth, all right, even to a form like how, King Los did, man. All right, that puts fear in Esau because they know that we know the truth now, man. All right. This is revelation. It's like it. And before I get this, and that's why Esau continuously, puts forth, whack ass rappers. All right, these different celebrities, these prominent people that is of our nation. All right, they pretty much keep you in the illusion of Babylon the Great, man. All right, continue to sell you this nightmare, man. Because they don't want our people to come back onto the truth, man. All right, this is why they are, to this day, are still blackballing, all right, the prophets, man. And then they have these flunkies out here, well, not flunkies, but these demons out here, all right, trying to disprove that we're wrong, man. But like I said, it's too late, man. All right, the Lord has put His Spirit back into His people, man. This is Revelation chapter 11 and 11. And after 3 days and a half, the Spirit of life from Yahweh Shem Shai entered into them, and they stood upon their feet, and great fear fell upon them which saw them. And that's why Esau Edom is scrambling like you see him doing now, man. They know that Israel waking back up. All right, that's Israel. It's like that's the sign to let you know that Yahweh Shem Shai is coming back to deliver the Israelites, man. Because like I said, this pattern, all right, that the Lord has constantly, seen us, do, is about to come full circle. So go back to Psalms 106. I'm gonna read verse 40 again. It says, "Therefore was the wrath of the Lord kindled against His people, insomuch that He abhorred His own inheritance, and He gave them into the hand of the heathen, and they that hated them ruled over them. Their enemies also oppressed them, and they were brought into subjection under their hand. Many times did He deliver them, but they provoked Him with their counsel, and were brought low for their iniquity. Nevertheless, He regarded their affliction when He heard their cry, and He remembered for them His covenant, and repented according to the multitude of His mercies." Right. So Yahweh Shem Shai, He hears the cry that we're sending forth now, the elect. All right, that's crying and sighing and crying for deliverance, man. And the Lord's gonna come back and deliver us, because like I said, that's that covenant. He's bound to it. All right. That's what I said. If my people will humble themselves and face the east, all right, the Lord he'll deliver us, man. He'll hear us and deliver us, man. And that's what is going to happen, man. All right. So let me get a few more precepts and I'm gonna close it. This is Baruch chapter 4, verse 29. It says, "If ye will not hear my voice, surely this very great multitude shall be turned into a small number among the heathen, where I will scatter them. For I knew that they will not hear me, because it is a stiff-necked people. But in the land of their captivities, they shall remember themselves," which is what you're seeing happening now, man. What I read in Revelation 11 and 11. "And they, it's like it, and shall know that I am the Lord their power, and I will give them a heart and ears to hear." All right, and this is why you have the elect waking up and coming back unto our power, the true God, which is Yahweh and His Son Yahweh Shai, man. All right. It says, "And I will give them a heart and ears to hear." All right, He gave us wisdom, knowledge, understanding again. Okay. All right. It says, "And they shall praise me in the land of their captivity and think upon my name." Right. And that's what's going on, man. All right. You got Israelites waking up every day, all throughout the four corners of the world, praising Yahweh Shem Shai in the land of our captivity. Okay. Praising the true names of Yahweh Shem Shai in the land of our captivity. It says, "In return from their stiff neck and from their wicked deeds, for they shall remember the way of their fathers which sin before the Lord." Right. So we're the elect, Lord willing, that's all of us that's doing this work and that believe, and we're repenting. And that's the biggest threat to Babylon the Great, man, to these devils, man, is for Israel to repent, man, but the elect of Israel, because not all Israel is going to repent. Verse 34, "And I will bring them again into the land which I promised with an oath unto their fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and they shall be the Lord of it, I will increase them, and they shall not be diminished. So the Lord's going to deliver us, put us back in the Holy Land. All right, after He destroys those damn imposters out of there. All right, it says, and we shall be lords of it, and I will increase them, and they shall not be diminished. And I will make an everlasting covenant with them to be their power, and they shall be my people. And I will no more drive my people out of Israel. It's like I will no more drive my people of Israel out of the land that I have given them. Right. So the Lord's going to fulfill, all right, that covenant that He made with our forefathers, starting with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. All right, and we're going to be ruling in the kingdom of heaven, which is the next kingdom to rule under the Lord Yahweh Shah, King David, all right, and the elect, all right. And we're never going into captivity ever again, man. All right, because that the kingdom of heaven will be an everlasting kingdom, because it said, I will make an everlasting covenant with them to be their power, because the Lord's going to put His law, statutes, commandments in our inward part, and we're going to never sin again, which means that we're never going to come out of power. All right, we're going to have an everlasting righteousness, man. All right, because the reason why we fail, all right, is because we were subject to sin. All right, which sin is our kryptonite. So if we're never going to sin again, all right, we're never going to go down. We're never going to die again. We're going to be immortals, man. All right, immortal gods ruling the world, ruling the universe forever. That's the future for the nation of Israel, man, starting with the elect. All right. So this is why, hey, it's important for you to know your heritage, man, and what it entails us. All right. So I'm going to end it right here. I pray this lesson was edifying. I want to give all honor, praise, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to my apostles and elders, a great millstone that taught me this truth and that rule well. A peace and salutation to the elect. Until next time, I say shalom.